Welcome to, this is Michael's After Hours, correct? That's what
Yes.
That's what we're calling this thing, this disaster.
Officially, yeah.
Officially, yeah. It was like father, like son, and then whenever we started like trying to post it anywhere, there were 1,000,000,002 like father, like sons. So we figured probably try and do something just a little bit more specific. So a little bit more identifiable, so you don't get the wrong information. Now, did we get like email address changes and web TikTok name changes and stuff like that? So where can anybody go to see any of our stuff?
So the YouTube is just Michael's After Hours. Same thing with on Spotify. That's where the full podcasts are being posted.
Okay.
And then like the Instagram is just Michael's After Hours. The TikTok, because I can't change the handle for the for 30 days after whenever it was last updated.
Okay.
Is still like Father Like Son podcast.
With the zero as the O,
with the
right?
zero as the podcast,
Okay.
yeah,
Is the O.
But I'll change that one like as soon as the 30 days is up.
And what about an email address in case people want to email us?
The email address is just michaelsafterhours@gmail.com.
Oh, okay. All right, perfect. So, for those of you out there that want to get a hold of us, you can always reach out to michaelsafterhours@gmail.com. If you happen to be Mike's Hard Lemonade or Walmart Plus, you can reach out to us in the same location with fat stacks of cash. Would work preferably. Home Depot, I don't give a shit. If it's Home Depot, I'd wear one of their fucking smocks the whole time while we're doing this thing if they wanted.
How about Texas Roadhouse? We can wear the shirts that say, "I love my job."
I'd fucking eat peanuts here and I'd fucking just throw them on the floor. Yeah, that would be cool.
I'd do the same thing.
I'm sweet if we had a sponsor. Yeah, it would be neat.
One day, hopefully.
Yeah, you never know. So just in case anybody has any questions or comments or, if they want to complain or anything, you can make it attention to Kyle. If you do want to send stacks of cash, you can make it attention to me. So so how's the weekend? Did you do anything fun and exciting over the weekend?
You were not sick. Really. I was going to say, I was still sick all last week. I started getting sick the day that we did the last podcast.
That's right. Yeah, because I remember towards the end of the week we were supposed to go over and do something to help my dad, and we weren't able to do it.
Yeah. We ended up going to the movies on, was it Friday or Saturday? I think it was Saturday we ended up going to the movies.
What did you see?
Disclosure Day.
The hell is that?
I don't know if you heard of it or not.
No.
It's like a movie about, I can't even remember the characters' names off the top of my head right now, but essentially about like this group of people. 2 of them were abducted by aliens.
Okay.
And the one chick was a weather girl, and she was, I think, considered what they called like a passenger. So like she was not abducted by this thing, but it was like able to talk through her. So she was like on air one time, and it just started talking like all of its alien mumbo jumbo, and there was like a whole secret service that knew everything there was to know about these things. So like they hunted this chick down just for her to go and find out that there were a bunch of other people that had experienced the same thing as she had before.
Gotcha.
It was pretty good. It was pretty long. It was like a 2.5 hour movie. It didn't really need to be, but the last half an hour like had you on the edge of your seat. Like you were.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the last half an hour was really good.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I haven't been to a movie like in a movie theater in a long time.
We went and
the hell last time I saw a movie.
Probably Top Gun.
Yeah, actually, you know what? That's probably correct. Yeah, I think that.
Maverick.
Yeah, I think that was. What's funny is I watched that last night.
Shout out Top Gun.
Hell yeah, Tom Cruise, you bitch.
I hope they don't. I hope they don't ruin the franchise though, whenever they're going to make the third movie.
Yeah, are they really making a third movie?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm keen on
Yeah.
that, but
I mean, the
okay.
second one was really good.
Oh, the second one was really good.
But the third one just feels like that. Like
It might be too much.
they're like, all right, the second movie made so much money. Now we need to do the same thing over again.
Yeah.
I just don't want it to be a piece of crap.
No, right.
But,
Yeah, like that's one of the great. That's probably for me the best '80s movie of all time. I know we've talked about that as far as maybe having like a topic like that. You know, different great movies of the '80s or great albums of the '80s. I think Top Gun would probably be at the top of my list as far as being probably the, if not one of the greatest '80s movies of all time.
yeah.
It's just fucking awesome.
I could never really get into any other Tom Cruise movies though, like other than that. Like all the Mission Impossibles, it was the same thing every single
47
time.
different
You're
times.
like, oh, it turns out the mission is possible every single time.
And every time he's jumping off off of a building in like Dubai or some shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
It just got a little bit more ridiculous every time.
Yes. It was Mission Possible. Ah. Guess it was kind of possible then, wasn't it? Just with the right person.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. You had a good weekend. You saw a movie that you enjoyed. And then there wasn't too much, it seems like, going on this past week. You know, a lot of times
No,
whenever
not
we
really.
come up with these topics and stuff like that, a lot of them come from like even stupid memes that I come across whenever I'm flipping through Facebook about ridiculous stories and stuff like that. I really didn't come across any.
Mm-hmm.
And then I totally forgot about it. And you mentioned today about doing the podcast. I was like, oh, well, I don't really have any information.
Yeah, this is
So,
kind of more of just like a less informational episode versus like just kind of sit down and bullshit about whatever comes off the top of the head.
yeah, whatever it goes. There was one thing I did see. I thought it was kind of cool that there was a dude named Chad Caruso. I guess he set a new world record for riding his skateboard from California to Florida. He did it in 39 days. And yeah. And he raised some kind of money to help kids because I guess he's like recovered. I don't know if it was a recovered like drug user, alcoholic, something like that. But yeah, he's recovered, and he used that money to raise for some kind of a foundation towards youths against alcohol and all that kind of shit. So good for him. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Last, I did see that he tried it one other time. He went from somewhere in California, I think it said Virginia. It took him like 57 days. So he beat this by about, 18 days or so, or 19 days, something like that. Which that's kind of cool. But that was really the only thing I saw. You said something here about your local, um, it
Are
was
you
actually
talking about this?
the high school that you went to.
Yeah, it's Lawrence County Career and Technical Center. That's where I went to. So our VOTEC was a little bit different because the county is so small. So like instead of where it seems like most of the VOTECs, you're at your home school for half the day and then you go there for half the day to do your trade. This was just like I went there, I did the academics there one week, and then I did the shop there the next week. But they're having issues right now with the schools that are like the home schools that are involved.
Like Elwood.
Because yes, Elwood's one of them, because they're threatening to withhold the budget. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't really understand it too well because it's a whole bunch of like board of directors crap that just it's just seems like a huge pissing contest. So like they hired a new principal, but all the schools are supposed to get a vote, and supposedly some of the schools held some sort of a secret meeting. Why, I don't know. And certain schools were held out of it, And so they're like, all right, well, then you can forget about the budget since we didn't get a say.
So they're pulling like their funding and stuff.
Well, they're pulling the funding. The problem is that they might not have school at all this year.
Did they say, oh God, did they say, so what all do they teach there? Like, do you know what the classes were? So you went there and you took a year of auto body, or not auto body, like auto mechanics work. And then after
Yeah.
that you took, what exactly is it that you took? Just like machine shop, like
Yeah,
pressing.
the class was called Machine Tool Technology. It's just machinist work. So like I'm a CNC machinist right now. And so the class was essentially like the introduction to machining, so like manual lathes and mills. And then by the time I became a senior, we were running like CNCs.
And what is that
And so like
exactly?
so like there's manual mills and there's manual machines and there's CNCs.
Oh,
Manuals is
okay.
like you're running you have like
Full
levers
control.
and like wheels, yes. Versus CNC is like programmable, so like an engineer or myself can write a program and insert it to a computer, and the machine will read the program and then just do it automatically.
Gotcha. So what were some of the other, uh, so what else did they teach there? They did,
So like some big ones were like welding is a really big one.
okay.
Um, Auto mechanics is a big one. Oil and gas is a big one.
What do you do in oil
Um,
and gas class?
I, I don't know anything about oil and gas. It's like rigging, so like they're like drilling for oil, that kind of thing.
Okay. All right.
Um, it was actually kind of neat because they had like a small little like oil rig in the back where they'd actually like drill.
Really?
Yeah. But they had like carpentry, like construction, like building houses and whatnot.
Good,
Uh,
like skilled labor trades, which
yeah.
is something that is very, um, understated and what, kind of like the workforce of America. That's what, a lot of America was built off of was skilled labor trades. And,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully they're not starting to go away. They really can't to a certain extent.
No,
Like, how the hell are you going to replace a carpenter?
you're right, and that's
What
kind
are
of
you
what
going to
I've
fuck?
always
You
thought.
can't, you're not going to get a bunch of robots out to build a house.
No, I mean, if you want, you could probably come up with the robots and whatnot to build or design the architecture, but
Sure, someone
there's
needs to put
never
the
going to
walls
be
up.
a right. There's never going to be a robot with a hammer and a nail
No, right.
or laying down brick and mortar.
Exactly. Laying pipe. Giggity.
Right.
Or
You fucking piss. Jesus Christ. That's gonna be the fucking first clip or intro or whatever. Whenever I name this episode, it's gonna be episode 3 giggity or laying
okay.
pipe.
Oh my god. But yeah, I
um
mean, I think we get the idea that those are very important and they're still is needed just as much as anybody, a computer engineer or
oh
someone
yeah.
who's designing, web design or working on
Hmm.
AI shit like that. Um,
Yeah, but I
so
mean they even had
I
other
definitely, you definitely don't
things.
want to see it go away.
No, they had some other stuff too though, like the nurse's aid program. They had cosmetology, graphic design. um I don't remember what they called it, but it was like a home ec class, like cooking.
Okay, kind of sweet.
um but yeah, best case scenario, it seems like they might end up starting the school year late.
That's the best case scenario.
It kind of seems like it. I mean, they've already held so many meetings. They've had like petitions and this and that, and the schools just won't budge. So
Man,
they are pretty worried that they're just not going to have the VOTEC at all this year.
well, I hope that's not the case. I mean,
But I'm
that's
like,
just gonna.
aside from the pissing match with like the budget and whatnot, like there's like lives that you're changing for ever.
Yeah, there are young men and women that are depending on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, luckily that you were able to use your trade after you got out of high school into an entry level position, and
Mm-hmm.
it helped you kind of like fast track through that a little bit. Whereas maybe someone else who didn't take it, obviously it wouldn't. But
Right.
yeah, a lot of kids probably depend on that. That maybe they're not. They're not really the college type. They don't want to go into
Yeah.
the service. Well, everybody needs to kind of learn to do something, and I couldn't stress that enough. Even with you and Abby, whenever you guys
Mm-hmm.
graduate, that's one thing is you got to know how to do something.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be successful in life, and that kind of a school helps so many kids and puts more people into the workforce. I mean, if you
Yeah.
don't have those numbers are going to be declining, I would say significantly, because people aren't just going to naturally just seek that stuff out, I don't think.
No.
So,
I mean, it saves them. Like for me, if I never went to VOTEC and I ended up deciding after graduation and whatnot, like, all right, I think I want to go to a technical school as like not college, but like just like an after school program or whatever. I don't know what the hell you'd call it.
okay.
I mean, you're probably looking at $10,000 to
Oh,
$20,000 a
just
year.
another regular trade school, an after
Yeah,
high school type of trade school. Yeah. Yeah, they're
right.
not cheap either. And you're getting this for
No.
free.
Yeah, like I got all the same certifications,
Certifications.
certifications, and all like just all the same education that they would get, but for free.
Yeah. And somebody else is going to have to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars for it.
Yeah.
I know we talked about that.
So
We like with Michelle when Bree did the cosmetology. I almost kind of wish I'm sure she wishes at some point she would have finished with it just through school, so she could have alleviated that part of it after school. But
yeah,
I mean,
right.
regardless, at least she still sought it out and she got through it, um,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, now she's cutting hair and doing whatever. So, but yeah, those things are way important, and that can't be stressed enough.
Yeah.
That there are just so there are some people that's a little bit more geared for them,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it helps just with overall morale and self-esteem and stuff like that, because that's a good way to get your hands on learning to do something, being successful at it, and kind of getting a good jump on life,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense.
And I mean, there was always a running joke where, outsiders, people that never went to that school, they'd call it slow tech because it always just seemed like that's where like the kids that just knew for a fact, like, all right, college isn't for me because they just weren't great students. They'd all end up going to VOTEC. But at the same time, like for me, I was never like a very big, I was lucky and I was ecstatic if I was bringing home C's at like
Yeah,
any other
right.
school. But then I got to VOTEC and it was just all A's and like the occasional B.
Hmm.
I mentioned something to you earlier that I wanted to do, which
Okay.
was the Mount Rushmores.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that I came up with my category?
Yeah. So your category was your Mount Rushmore of movie villains.
Yes, I have my list. Did you ever come up with any or no?
I have a couple off the top of my head.
Okay.
I probably have three of them. One of them's kind of fucking stupid and silly, but in my eyes, it's kind of really a good villain.
Okay.
Um, so do you want to Why don't you start with yours? So you're going to go from number 4 to number 1, I presume. So do your
So
number four.
I didn't rank them in any particular order. I just came up with
Oh,
my top
okay.
4.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So give me your first of your top 4 for your movie villains.
So the first one that I've written down, and I hope you know who this is Thanos.
I have no fucking idea who that is.
Dude
Who's
from the
Thanos?
Avengers. He's the one that
I've
wears like the
watched all
gauntlet
of
with the
10
stones.
minutes of an Avengers movie.
That's
Isn't there like
upsetting.
30 of them?
Well, actual Avengers movies, no, there's only 4. But Marvel movies, there's a lot.
Oh, I thought there was a ton of Avengers movies. So what is it about him that made your list?
I think in the movies villains list that I have is honestly kind of like a I'd say all of these are pretty universally agreed upon for being like the best movies villains, but him alone, it's not like he was this like super evil, demonic, just wants to end the world type of guy.
Mm.
It was more so like he just had a vision of reality, and the only way to sustain it was if only half the population of all living life in the universe was alive. So that's why he went and collected all the stones and whatnot, because anytime he snapped his fingers, it eliminated half of all living organisms.
Oh. Well, that sounds kind of interesting.
It is really cool because, like I said, he's not just this just stereotypical blow up the world kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was
Do you find that maybe
something about it.
he has almost endearing qualities?
Kind of, yes.
Yeah, and that's kind of what make it interesting. One of my favorite villains of all time. Now, this is not a movie villain, so this one don't count. But who's the dude from? Oh, Negan. Negan
Oh,
from
from
The
The Walking
Walking
Dead.
Dead. Like the perfect villain.
Yeah.
He was mysterious, but there was something that you were drawn to him about, and he was ruthless. And he was calculated, but he could be flustered. Very, very good villain. As far as movie villains for me, I'll get the stupid one out of the way first. And I'm gonna say it's gonna be the iceberg from the Titanic. Because that fucking movie is absolute dog shit until shit goes down. Like once shit goes down,
You're not
that's
a
when the
fan of
movie.
like just all the romancy part of it.
No, really not. It kept my interest enough that I watched a 4-hour movie, but
Yeah.
would I watch that same 4-hour movie again? Probably not.
Just
Like
skip
if I
to
see
like
it's on
20.
TV, I'll flip it on. I'll see where it's at. Okay, so they're still doing the painting in the thing where she's nude with the necklace. Let me come back to it maybe like 45 minutes later and see where they're at then. Like I
Yeah.
want to see it maybe 10 minutes before it hits the iceberg, then I'm in for the rest of the movie. So that's my number 4
Okay.
on my list for right now. So what would be your next one? Unless you have a question about it.
No, I don't exactly have questions about the iceberg that fucking hit the Titanic just yet.
I mean, it's almost self-explanatory. I don't know how it couldn't be on anybody's
right.
list, but yeah, understood.
So my next one is Darth Vader.
Oh, dude, I never even thought of him. Okay, go ahead.
He's probably the best whenever it comes to like a pure villain. He's probably the best.
I was just going to say he's probably got to be number 1, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
He's for the entertainment purposes, he's not on my list, but if I could change my list right now, I would change it and he would automatically be there. I just never thought of him. Yeah, Darth Vader's a damn good one. That was always my favorite episode of the newer Star Wars, is the episode where they fight it out down in the lava and on the rocks.
Oh, that was episode 3. That's my favorite one.
That's when Anakin dies, and that's when they make him into Darth Vader, and that's when Padme has the babies, Luke and Leia.
Mm-hmm.
at the end of that movie. That was always my favorite. But Darth Vader, fucking perfect choice. Like
Yeah.
dark, mysterious, authoritative. Like
Yeah.
there was just nobody in your eyes that really could beat him. And a strong Jedi, yada yada yada. You could go on and on and on with him. And yeah, great, great, great pick. I think so. Another great villain for me is going to be Dr. Evil.
I never even thought about Dr. Evil. That's a good one.
Yep,
You know
Dr.
what's funny
Evil.
is I was just looking up Mike Myers like half an hour before we got on here. I
Really?
don't even know why, but I was just looking up Mike Myers.
Yeah, Dr. Evil. He's up there for me. Another kind of just like classic character. He either wants $1 million or $1 billion. It's always just a ridiculous number, regardless of the setting that he happens to be in, which I think is the funniest fucking thing.
I don't usually ever like quote movies, but if there's one thing I always do because it drives Kennedy insane, she'll ask me like, "Oh, how's much this cost?" And I'm like, $10 trillion.
Yeah, Dr. Evil, he's up there for me. So
Yeah.
I have two more. Go ahead with what's your next one?
So the Joker, for me specifically, the Heath Ledger version of the Joker
Another good
from
one.
The Dark Knight. Yeah.
Yeah,
He was so twisted and he was so engulfed in playing that character that
that's
it
what
really
led to
just
his
made you.
demise. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
really.
said that's what led to his demise. Is he got it? He kind of just got it into his own headspace and probably couldn't get it out.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to come into character, because that character there is sick and twisted and
Yeah.
demonic, and another very, very, very good one. Which I'll go back to Batman, because I think I had this guy, and I might swap him with the Joker now. Think about it, would be Bane.
I knew you were
Bane
going to say
from
Bane.
well, I don't even know which ones these are from, but
The Bane was
Bane was
from The
always a
Dark
good
Knight
one.
Rises.
Yeah, okay. So Bane was cool because, again, mask. What, I don't even know what the mask on his face was for. Did you ever learn that?
No, I don't. If I did, I don't remember it.
Mysterious. The voice, whoever the character was that played Bane, if that was his actual voice, added to the character. I thought, like, his voice is very almost high pitched. I don't even know how
You
to
don't know who
explain it. It's
played
like,
Bane?
no,
Tom Hardy.
really,
Mm-hmm.
that's interesting. I don't think I ever
I
knew
was
that.
born in the dark.
Yes, yeah. Like, and that's like that voice with everything. It's just,
If
I
you've
think
never
that,
watched Batman, it's recognizable.
yes,
You
yeah,
hear the voice and you're like, oh, that's Bane.
yeah, correct, right. So he's definitely one of my favorites. The fight scene of him and Batman outside on City Hall, whenever it was snowing or whatever, that was always one of my favorites.
Yeah, that one was
Um,
really cool.
but Bane would be up there in my list for me. Again, I come up with these in a matter of about an hour. So
Yeah.
I didn't have much time to think them through. But Bane is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your last one?
So those first three were like the three locks for me. Like I come up with those like just boom, boom, boom. Because for me, those are like those are just top three, and then fourth place like isn't really close to those next three. But for
Okay.
four, I ended up coming up with, and you might not even know who the hell this is, but Voldemort, the villain
Voldemort?
from the Harry Potter movies.
Never seen a Harry Potter movie ever.
We just watched them all for the first time last year, and they're awesome.
Really?
And you don't really get to see him at all until like you know who he is, and they start talking about him in the first movie. So if I'm not I think there's 9 movies,
All right.
and like they start talking about him in the first movie, but he just has such this presence. Like you're not supposed to say his name. Like that's the V name. Like you don't talk about him.
Okay.
But then you see him for the first time. I think like in the fourth, and that's whenever him and everyone else have like their first like just little taste of like a battle scene at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
but just throughout the movie, he has such a presence that's just like, oh God, like the red coats are coming, like that
Would
kind of
I
thing.
would I be okay if I skipped the first two movies and went to go watch the third one or whatever when he comes in? Like, do
Mm,
I have to watch the other three to?
you'll probably be confused, but you probably could, yeah,
All right.
honestly. I'd probably watch the first one, but then you could probably skip. So like I used to keep the rankings down because anytime I watch like a big movie series like that, I always keep notes of like where I rank them amongst each other, like in my phone. So
All
like
right.
the first one is like a perfect like introductory movie. Like it's not the best, but it's for sure not the worst. It's somewhere
Okay.
like top half. The second one, you could get away with skipping the second one,
All
but the
right.
third one is really good.
Oh, okay.
So like if you started with 3, like there's really nothing wrong with that.
Okay. I may have to just like check them out one of these times because
Yeah.
I know a ton of people like them. I just never had to. I never really thought it was my thing. I never thought Dungeons and Dragons stuff was my thing either until I watched Game of Thrones. And actually, I think House of the Dragon just started the other night. I don't know if you guys are into that at all. I haven't watched it. I haven't
Mm-mm.
watched the one from the other night, but I watched the previous seasons, and good show, good show.
Yeah. I
Um,
think they just started season 3,
yes, House of the Dragon season 3, if I'm not mistaken, 3 or 4, but
which
I
I,
think it's
I don't
3.
know. I'm not even sure because I never watched Game of Thrones. I got like 4 or 5 episodes in. And so then I've obviously never watched House
Yeah,
of
most people
Dragons.
say they got about 4 or 5 episodes into Game of Thrones. Whenever you realize that, like, one of the kids is fucking his mother, then
Yeah,
they
like
kind of
there's
like,
too much like brother fucking sister that I'm like, all right, I'm out.
yeah,
It's
it's
like,
kind of it's twisted. If you can stomach that and get through it, the storyline it is really good.
really?
Yeah, yeah, it's a great show. Um, so I'll say my last one
Okay.
for me, and this I think is the most memorable one from my childhood, was Gene Hackman playing Lex Luthor in 3 of the Superman movies from the late
Oh,
70s, early 80s with Christopher Reeve.
yeah.
Um, Again, I don't know if I could really pinpoint as to why, other than for me, whenever I think of a villain in a movie, that it's always Gene Hackman's face that pops into my head first. And I think it's
Really?
just memorable for me because I loved those movies whenever I was a kid. I remember when the kid fell off the fucking thing over, it was so fake looking, fell off the railing off of fucking Niagara Falls, and Superman had to fucking fly down and catch him before he like fell into the water.
Yeah.
It was so ridiculously fake whenever you look back on it now. But I mean, at the time they were just awesome movies. You're like, oh man, this fucking Superman, and then it's Gene Hackman. He's classic. Like
Yeah.
at some point you think you might like him, other points you're like, fuck that guy. Like he was always trying to get his hands on kryptonite. And Gene Hackman for me is probably going to be very, very, very close to the top for his portrayal of Lex Luthor.
It's funny
So
how
yeah,
nostalgia works. Like you could go back and watch those movies right now and you'd be like, "Holy shit, this fucking sucks."
yeah,
But like if you just don't go back and you watch it, you just remember it how you remember it from like as a kid,
and
you're
it's one of
like,
the best.
it was the best thing ever." Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So all right, cool. So we did a Mount Rushmore for you. So I came up with one also.
Okay.
Mine was my Mount Rushmore of Jim Carrey movies. Now,
Okay.
again, I have them ranked from fourth to first, and the people may fucking, especially with one of these, may have issues with. I'm not a huge Jim Carrey fan, but there are a handful of movies of his that are really good. I would say, as far as the fourth one for me would be The Mask.
Okay.
I don't know, just silly, funny. His acting in these movies is always really, really, really good. Like he goes above and beyond to
Yeah.
make some of the silly bullshit even sillier. And whenever he does it, he's classic at making it, because some people will try and make it sillier and you're like, what the fuck, dude? But
Yeah.
he has a knack of making the silly sillier, and you're like, oh my god, this is ridiculously, funny. So for me, I think The Mask would be on my Mount Rushmore. What
Okay.
about you?
So I'll start off by saying that I'm with you. Like, I'm not the biggest Jim Carrey fan in the world. Him and Adam Sandler for me are kind of on like the same pedestal.
Yeah, I got you.
Like, they're actually, I like whenever they act, but then some of like the silly stuff that they do could just get like annoyingly
Some of
silly.
it
Like
can't get enough.
they try and go so above and beyond that I just like it was funny up until a certain level. But I'll
Yeah,
just agree with
right.
you and just say that I have The Mask on my list.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah.
So you agree with me with the mask. So since you have the mask as well, you do your next one. You
Okay.
do your second one.
So I'll get my next there it's kind of like the first list that I had. Like I had 3 movies on here that are just like total locks. And The
Okay.
Mask was one of them because I feel like that's just like universally has to be on everybody's list.
Yeah,
But my
okay.
next
Yeah.
one that I don't know if it's on everybody's list or not, and I haven't watched this movie in years, but it would be Liar Liar.
No, I didn't have that one. I don't know. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I've never seen that one, but I've heard it's good. It's funny.
It is really funny. Just the concept of
He can't tell a
I
lie.
can't
Everything
remember.
out of
He
his
got
mouth
like
has to be the truth. Correct?
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't remember what it was, like some kind of like a curse or what it was, but like it got to the point where like he tried telling himself like he had like a red pen and he was like it's he
Blue,
tried saying like it's
and he couldn't
blue, but
say
he
it.
just couldn't. Yeah.
That's cool because that seems like that would almost kind of be a good role for him. Like I could see him playing something like that,
Yeah.
which I think kind of like helps that cause for sure. So the third one that I
Mhm.
have, so I had the mask as well. Um, oh, the next one for me, I don't know if you've ever seen this one. This is one people are probably gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about, dude?" It's called Fun with Dick and Jane. Have you ever seen it?
I've heard of it, I've never watched it.
So it's him and I forget who the chick is. They play like his suburban housewife and husband. They have a nice big house. He works at some kind of a financial institution that they gave him a promotion, and then right after they gave him a promotion, he went on to like some some money market like TV show. And as he's on the money market TV show talking about his company, like the whole thing went bankrupt and it shows the stocks like dropping and everything else, and he's getting all nervous.
Okay.
And just all of the shenanigans that comes along with it because now they can't afford their house. He is getting fired. They got to try and rob a bank. It's just a kind of like, it's not slapstick comedy, but it's like a silly comedy of,
Mhm.
this guy, his wife, he gets let go from his job. They have a small kid. They're trying to put in brand new grass at the house and build a pool and stuff like that. And just all the shenanigans that comes around with that. Shout
Yeah.
out to I think it is one of the Baldwins is in it. I think it's Alec Baldwin. He plays a pretty good part in that too. But good. It's a good fun, kind of like everybody can kind of watch it kind of a movie.
Yeah. So what that was your third, correct? Or
So
was that your second?
that was actually my second.
Okay.
So here I'll do another one then. So
Yeah, go ahead.
the next one for me would be the Cable Guy.
Okay.
Again,
I've heard of it. I've never watched it.
it's been a while since I've seen it, but it's just overall very, very funny. Has you laughing out loud. The guy, the actual Cable Guy himself, that's played by Jim Carrey, is just overly ridiculous with the way he acts and how he talks. Um, I don't know, just one of my favorites for him.
Okay, well,
Again,
let
hard to
me
put. Go ahead.
say real quick. Our last 2 should be the same, and I
Oh
know
yeah, it
which
is.
one. Well, hold on, because you've already done 3, and I know which one you left off that I have on there, and I completely think that you should have put it on there. So let's just say that we both have Dumb and Dumber.
Oh no,
You didn't think of Dumb and
no,
Dumber?
didn't think of Dumb and Dumber.
So what'd you have for
So
your
okay,
fourth?
so if I had to get rid of, I would probably replace Dumb and Dumber with either The Mask or Fun with Dick and Jane. My last one is the original Ace Ventura.
Oh my God, we don't have any of the second last 2.
Yep. That's my final one. The original Ace Ventura, all-time classic. Just that is Jim Carrey for me.
Yeah. And that's one that, like, that I know, and I didn't put it on because I've never watched the whole thing. I've seen pieces of it, but I've never watched the entire movie. So,
You've
like,
never seen
for
all of Ace
obvious,
Ventura?
no,
Oh wow. Okay.
just because I'm not a Jim Carrey fan.
Right.
So, like, obviously, I already said I have Dumb and Dumber, which you should have had Dumb and Dumber on
Yeah, I
there.
should. It was my own list, and I didn't have it.
You
that's
completely
pretty
fumbled
bad.
on that one.
Yeah, I did. I
But
totally.
my last one is The
Lloyd
Grinch.
Christmas. Oh, The Grinch is a good one.
Yeah. He played the best Grinch. And actually, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think he's supposed to be doing another one either like this year or next year.
Oh, I think I might have saw that too.
Yeah, which is going to be pure gold because that movie is just aged perfectly. I think it was like a early 2000s movie, like 2003, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that, yeah. It's
But
been a while, but that is a great Christmas movie. I still watch it. I can remember I just watched it this past Christmas. It was on one of the channels.
that's like one of our, that's a go-to Christmas movie, just like every year.
Yeah, The Grinch. Yeah, I totally agree.
Because I almost had went with like the Disney version of A Christmas Carol, but I didn't want to have two Christmas movies on there, and The Grinch is clearly the better of the two.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I would concur with that.
I would have put my life on it that you had Dumb and Dumber on your list. You had to have just forgotten about it.
Yes, I did. Because that would absolutely that might be above Ace Ventura. It's
that's number
at the
one
very
for
least
me for
tied
sure
with Ace Ventura. Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to do those more often because I do like doing those.
Yeah, that was fun.
You want to do some sports stuff here?
Yes. Do you have anything?
You want to start talking? No, I didn't have anything specific, but I know you want to bring up the thing about Wyndham Clark. So Wyndham Clark wins his wins the U.S. Open this past weekend, and it's his twice. Correct? I don't know anything about Wyndham Clark other than what happened last year.
If I'm not mistaken, that was his second U.S. Open title win. Which actually, it's funny because he's one of those guys that like he doesn't really win much else, but for some reason in the major tournaments he just knows how to play in those kind of tournaments. If I think that might be his fourth major title.
Really?
Which, yeah, let me look that up real quick because I'm pretty sure he's won the U.S. Open twice.
So how was the scoring for the U.S. Open? So he won at what, -4?
Oh no, I'm wrong. What am I talking about? So he's only won 2 major tournaments, but both of them were the U.S.
Open.
I could have sworn he won something else at least one other time.
Yeah, I don't know.
What'd you just ask me?
How was the scoring? What did he win at?
So he finished at 4 under par.
Where's next?
Sam Burns was at 3 under par. Tom Kim finished at 1 under par. And then there were a handful of players at even. Those were the only 3 guys that finished under par, which, fun fact, going into this tournament, at this specific golf course, only 3 people had ever finished the tournament under par. And then 3 more did it this weekend.
That's good. I think that's the way that all these tournaments should be, not just major tournaments. I think they need to make it harder for some of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Because we talked about this the other day. I don't want to sit, and if I do invest myself into some kind of a golf tournament, whether I'm watching it or betting on it or whatever, I don't bet on it ever, really. I think one time I put $10 on Colin Morikawa, and that didn't fucking turn out very well. But
you just don't want to watch just perfect shots time and time again.
No. I mean, they need to go through some kind of adversity, and
you want to be able to see that, like, they're still. You want to see like they're still human. Like occasionally, you're going to hear one of us in the background.
Yeah,
whenever someone just like blade shanks one over the back of the green or some shit.
Yes,
but yeah, that's fun, and that's why the U.S. Open and the Open are like. I mean, the Masters is clearly like my favorite of the 4 major championships.
Mine too, and I'm sure just about everybody would say
Anybody.
mostly the same thing.
But the U.S. Open and the Open are right there just because of the quality of play. It makes it so entertaining because it's
Yeah, they
not
design
easy.
those courses, or not design the courses, but they prepare the courses for them to be very, very, very hard.
Yeah.
And that's the way I think it should be in the Open, in the Masters. Any one of them, I don't think should be. I mean, make them as hard as possible. Nobody wants to see fucking 30 under par after 4 rounds of golf. But the
No.
topic with this Wyndham Clark is that last year, I don't know if his name rung a bell with anybody, but this is the guy last year that trashed a couple of the lockers out at Oakmont Country Club during the Masters last year,
The U.S. Open.
or the U.S. Open, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, there have been questions that have come about that should he be allowed to play in the U.S. Open because of his behavior. And this, if I'm not mistaken, is not the only time that he's kind of like flipped out and been an asshole about something.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of people, they're like, "Oh yeah, let him play. He only beat up he only ruined a couple lockers." Well,
There's history behind that. Like, it's not, he didn't go into like the local municipal, like, piece of shit links and trash the pro shop, like,
but even at that,
this
I
is
mean,
one of the most pristine golf courses or country clubs in the entire world. And he wants to go in there and just act so immature and just trash the locker room. And so they banned him for life. The question being, though, now, because he's a U.S. Open winner, so the 4 major championships are not PGA Tour owned championships. So the majors invite all their winners back for future tournaments,
okay,
but they go back to the same clubs once every about 8 years or so. So the question now becomes, does Oakmont Country Club now allow him back after banning him for life
no,
because he's a future winner? I completely agree.
no. The guy comes into your establishment and he totally just fucking trashes it. He treats your property like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
To the point where it's criminal in nature. This guy could have been arrested for this.
Yeah.
And nothing's done. Okay, so he made a donation, he fixed the lockers, yada, 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 yada. That doesn't fix the underlying problem.
Big fucking whoop.
Golf wants to be, we're better than you sport. Okay,
Yeah.
well, if you're going to be the you're better than me sport, get your fucking shit under control.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the NFL. People didn't walk, this isn't AB going to a fucking locker and into a locker room and hitting his helmet against the fucking locker because he got pissed off because he dropped a pass. This is this is something completely different. So it's not okay by it. And generally that behavior, I don't think is okay really anywhere.
No,
I think
I
he
agree.
should be, I don't think he should never step foot on Oakmont Country Club ever again. But from what I understand, they lifted the ban after he apologized and he did this and he did that. But I also heard,
I never heard that.
I think I just heard that the other day. Yeah, he made some kind of donations and he fixed everything and he wrote a letter.
Of course.
Yeah, right. So, but yeah, I don't think you should ever be able to step foot out there. But I heard something that the PGA, whenever they do these majors, it's almost as if they own these courses for that period of 4 days. Like, it's almost like the courses don't have a say-so. I don't know how true that is.
In what aspect?
In the aspect that over that span of the 4 days that the tournament is being held, the PGA calls all the shots for that, and they make all the decisions on who should be there to play and who shouldn't be there to play, and that the home country club has no bearing on it whatsoever.
Well,
which I think that's stupid as well.
So whether or not they decide who plays and who doesn't play, I know is not true because, like I already said, the 4 major championships are not PGA Tour owned or regulated tournaments. That's why live golf players or
can play in
amateurs
them.
can still play in the majors. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like the live golf players, whenever they play in the 4 major championships, those are the only tournaments that they play in that count towards their world golf rankings.
Gotcha. Yeah, so just to kind of sum this thing up, for me, fuck him. Like
Yeah, I
that
agree.
behavior just shouldn't happen to begin with. I don't care how many fucking lockers you put in afterwards or what kind of donations you made. Just because you can fucking throw some money around that's going to make it okay. No, I don't believe in that behavior. So but that's
No,
just me.
I agree. And that gets to be a point where, you know, if you're a celebrity, you're just treated way too fairly. Like, in my opinion, it's so bass backwards. If I go into Oakmont Country Club and I trash if I'm a member and I go in
You're
and I
going
trash
out
the
in
locker room
handcuffs. You're
because
going
I
out in
had a fuck.
handcuffs. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're going out in handcuffs.
Yeah, I always said the same thing about the fucking Will Smith slapping Chris Rock thing. If that wasn't Will Smith and that was me, Chris Rock is pressing all kinds of charges and I'm going to fucking prison for years on end.
Yeah.
But because it's Will Smith and he's all this and that, a big fucking whoop. I don't care who you are.
Right. I hear you.
But that's just the way the world works, I guess.
All right. So moving on to the Pirates, you have a note here. It says, "Are the Pirates going to make the playoffs?"
I don't fucking think so. Their bullpen is just I seen something the other day. They were talking about it today on the radio a little bit. This is the first team in 50 years. I'm trying to get this correct off the top of my head. This first team in 50 years that lost back-to-back games with a lead going into the 9th with runner on third with no outs. It's one of those MLB stats that it's like a fucking paragraph long to get correct. So I'm trying to remember it correctly.
I don't even know how they can find these stats.
I
got you.
either.
So basically what you're referring to is, I think it was Friday night, Pirates had bases loaded, no outs, top of the 9th, and lost. Saturday night, Pirates had first and third with 1 out, if I'm not mistaken, and still lost. And they were down by a run in each game.
I believe so. Or maybe it was tied. I can't remember off the top of my head what the scores were right now. No, yes, they were down because the whole idea was that they had the tying run on third with no outs on both games.
Yeah, so the old adage of no lead is safe is like legitimately, you don't feel safe. Okay, so they played in Colorado. It was Saturday. No, it was Sunday that you and I were talking. They had an 8-1 lead going into the 9th. They come into the 9th. They gave up 5 runs, 8-1.
So
it ended 8-6.
Dennis Santana gave up some in the 8th, and then Gregory Soto gave up some in the 9th.
They're stuck. There's nothing they can do.
Bad. And it's not like bring in one, lights
Hunter
out
Stratton.
stone cold closer, because they just need they need help every single day.
Like if you bring in a Aroldis Chapman, it's like using a fucking eyedropper on a fucking forest fire.
Yeah, right. So, I mean,
also,
I don't know what they could do, but it's just the complete opposite issue of what they've had over the last couple years. Last couple years.
That's the unfortunate part about it is
it's lights out pitching, and we can't win 1-0 games. Versus
especially
this
in the
year,
bullpen.
It's 8-1, and it's like, oh god, are we gonna fucking do it? Any team should be able to fucking clinch out an 8-1 lead with
right.
No thought about it.
Yeah, they desperately need help. I don't know where they're going to get it from. I don't know what they're going to give up for it. Because if you start like hunting for some kind of pitching help now, if you can find teams that are willing to trade, if you can find those teams, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
What are you going to start giving up prospects because like major prospects for a middle reliever?
Right.
But
and that's the one thing that Ben Charrington got into the other day. He was talking with the media and he was like, look, it's not that I'm not trying to make trades. It's that it's so early right now that all these teams think that they still have a chance. So they're not trading their bullpen arms. They're, and the way that they were explaining it is ever since they went to the 3-game wild card system,
Yeah.
they're like,
I was
you
just going to
need
say
all
that.
the arms that you can have.
That third game, that third wild card team really opens up a lot of spots for people that are like the Pirates, maybe not necessarily so so talented or gifted like the Yankees and the Mets
Mm-hmm.
and the Dodgers, yada yada. But it gives hope for maybe 7, 8 other teams.
Yeah.
So that takes away from in 7, 8 other teams that you're probably looking at each league. So you're adding almost 15 teams to that mix, and they're just not ready to part with anything yet because they just don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
So I'm to the point also where I would start listening to trade offers for Skeens. At this point, he's not pitching the way he's not. You're not getting Paul Skeens. You're getting
No.
6 innings and 2 runs. How many pitchers are there in the league that can give you 6 innings and 2 runs?
Right.
Plenty. So if I could get 3 other of those pitchers, a Juan Soto and a prospect, I got to start listening to that.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that he doesn't want to, and this, he could be pandering. He almost, I don't know if you really expect him to say anything else as far as whenever it comes to like, um, the, negotiating for the new collective bargaining agreement next year. And how he's
Mm-hmm.
like, no, they're not going to budge on a, you know, he came out and he said, no, they're not going to budge on any kind of a salary cap or anything like that. It just sucks as a Pirate fan to hear that because you're like, dude, you know, that's what we need. But you got to think first and foremost, he's a player. I think
Well,
he's a
the
big
thing is,
part.
he's on the board, I
I was
guess.
just going to say he's a big part of their union. So, you know, if he's one of the faces of the union, he really doesn't have much of a choice.
No, right.
Yeah, he's not going to come out because I mean, all that's going to do is just open up Pandora's box as to what the owners could be. Oh, that was the other thing. What the owners would say. So the owners made a proposal just this past week to the MLB union for next year that the proposal would be that um their drafts go to 12 rounds and they eliminate drafting high school players. What do you think about that?
So what's the idea behind it? Like
Well,
to
my
save
thought
money or
probably, yeah, because if you do that and you use the NFL's um brand as far as is how they do their minor leagues in the college system, that's what baseball wants to do. Well, if you do that, then you're not going to have enough people, and you reduce the amount of rounds of the MLB draft from 36 or whatever the hell it is, 30 to 12. You're not going to have enough players to fully staff probably a single A and a double A team. You might
mm-hmm.
have enough for a triple A, but that's going to be about it. So you're probably that would probably eliminate major parts of the organization. At least I would think so. So I think there would probably be major amounts of money saved there.
I don't think that one really means as much to me though, because it's not like the Pirates gain anything from it because it's still even. The game is so uneven right now and unfair that we need it to be more even and fair. If you just, implement a rule that's based across the entire league, then I mean it doesn't do us any different because
Right.
we're still going to save just as much money as the Dodgers and the Yankees are.
Right. Which is not going to really matter if I mean, everybody's saving the money. So
Yeah.
what it really comes down to is they need a salary floor and they need a salary cap. At the very least, a salary floor for me.
See, people say that, and I couldn't give a shit less about a salary floor. I think there
No,
needs to be.
make the team spend. Don't put a cap on it. You know, make the Pirates spend 150 million a year,
See,
or
I think it'd be
170 million a
easy.
year.
I'd rather have a cap because I think it's going to be something around maybe like the 270 million mark. And I feel like that brings us closer to the Dodgers than it would if it was a floor.
So you're more interested in reducing the Dodgers' payroll instead
Than
of
increasing the Pirates.
increasing the Pirates. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think there's what's the difference? I think there has to be both. I think you need to increase the Pirates' payroll and you need to
There has to be
decrease.
both, yes. But
Yeah.
if there was only one or the other, I'm picking a cap. You know, spread those players out. Their payroll is something like $430 fucking million. Like,
yeah, right.
if you go and you insert a $270 million cap, even just say a $300 million cap, which is still triple the
An
amount the
insane
Pirates are
amount of
playing or
money.
something,
Yeah.
then they're not going to have half the team that they have.
Right.
They'll keep Juan Soto, they'll keep Shohei Ohtani, they might restructure them. They'll keep their Freddie Freeman, they'll keep their, Mookie Betts, but then everyone else is either going to get like restructured or dealt somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I just don't believe in the ability to get like a salary cap and a salary floor introduced. Because imagine if they do somehow manage to get a salary cap. How do they reconstruct, or what do they do with those players that they're like, all right, well, we can't afford you, so goodbye?
I don't know.
Do they get traded? Do they get put up for auction to the highest bidder?
That'd be fucking awesome to see how it would work out. That'd be fun though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's one of the great questions. I just don't know how it would work.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. You ready for football?
Yeah. That
Yeah,
is
I
like the
can't
one
answer.
thing I just started thinking about like the other day. We were sitting there watching the Pirates game, and it always happens like this. Like, I'm so up and amped for Buccos baseball by like March and April, but by the time I'm like, all right, well, this team fucking blows ass and they just don't have a chance of winning
Right.
anything, I'm like, all right, as much as I can't stand the Steelers right now, like, I'm not just
Yeah.
ready for the Steelers, like, I'm ready for football.
Yeah, I agree. Fall, that's always my favorite time of year too. So like whenever you start hearing like the first Saturday of college football and you can hear them banging the drums and playing the band playing on the field, you're like, oh man, dude, it's
Yeah.
football. Like that's when football season kicks in for me too, dude. Whenever you hear the band on the field for like the college football games, that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I
how you
agree.
know it's in full effect. Do you know? So I have a note here. It says 9.5. Do you know what 9.5 is?
I have no idea.
For me, 9.5 is um I guess it would be the line for the amount of minutes that you spent watching the World Cup. Over or under 9.5?
um hmm it's actually probably pretty close because I've placed a couple stupid bets on it recently, and the other
Oh, I
day
forgot about that.
we were at a Mexican restaurant, and it was the day that USA played Australia. But
Okay.
I bet you it's still under. I bet you it's somewhere close to like the 6 minute mark.
Really?
Yeah,
That's pretty funny. Um, yeah, I haven't spent.
you're probably way under.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, you could probably. Let's see. I watched it today, maybe for about 30 to 45 seconds. And it was only really to see. So, did you see the World Cup sexiest fan from
No,
Croatia? Mamma mia. Dear Lord. I don't know what her name is, but I would like her to be my
those
future ex-wife at some point or
those
another.
Croatian beauties are just doing something for
Oh,
you.
dude, this one is. Yeah, she's definitely a hot one. Look up Croatian whenever you get a chance. The Croatian sexiest World Cup fan.
Croatian hoochie mamas.
Yeah, kind of.
So like, so I still have that bet for Germany to win it all. And I guess right now, I don't know how the
Oh,
fuck this tournament works. It's like you have to do like the whole play-in thing. And so in the round of 32 right now, there's only 4 teams that are officially in: Argentina, Mexico, USA, and Germany.
So I heard this fucking crazy thing the other day that there was a scenario where the U.S. could have played England on the 4th of July, which is the United States' 250th birthday, and it would have been
Yeah.
played in Philadelphia. And I think I heard somebody say that might have been, if that could have happened, that might have been the biggest sports event ever in American history. And I started thinking
It could
about
be.
it, hands down.
It
I
could be
mean,
up there for sure.
that's as much as like Rocky going against the Russian guy,
Drago.
or or the U.S. and the Russians in ice hockey in the early 80s. Like, this is something that could have lived up to that. I wish like, in that, if that would have been the case, I would have figured out a way to watch every minute of the game.
That becomes so like, that game's more than just a soccer game. Like, it's fucking political. It's personal.
Yeah.
It as much as I don't watch soccer, with that much hype around a game, it definitely would
Yeah,
have been
that turns into an
to see.
event. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
So, that's really all I had. What did you want to do? A trivia quiz?
Oh,
You want to
fuck
save
yeah.
it? Do a
Think we
teaser
have
for
time
next
for it, or
time?
do you want to do it?
I
Yeah,
don't
we'll save
care.
it for next time.
All right. So here for next time, we're gonna save. We have a little trivia. We're gonna have a little bit of fun on the next podcast. That way, Kemney will get her her whatever she has, her quiz. This was all
Yeah,
her idea, right? Too.
Yeah,
Quiz
that's
thing?
how we'll start the next one.
Okay.
I'll invite her in, and then we'll have to come up with some kind of like stakes maybe to like make it like a little bit more interesting. But
Oh, okay.
she'll join the call, and she already got like the whole quiz and whatnot figured out.
Fantastic. So join us next time. We're gonna put some skin on it. We're gonna have a fucking we're gonna do a quiz, a trivia thing. I love fucking trivia. Kyle knows. Him and Kennedy go every Thursday to their little local pub. They have trivia nights there, and I love trivia as well. So it'll be fun. Until then, I will talk to you later.
Okay, peace.
All right. See you.